Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now with the main headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi remarks on duties after converting to Islam. Shia Muslims in Africa hold celebrations to honor the blessed birth anniversary of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. World Health Organization addresses mental health crisis in war-torn Yemen. General Assembly of Shia Scholars in Australia discusses various issues to better serve the Shia community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Yunus Dawood and you're watching Shia Waves live from London, only on Imam Hussein TV 3. In his daily scholarly meetings on Monday, Grand Ayatollah Shirazi discusses the ruling that converting to Islam removes and cleanses what was before it, and said it stated in Islamic jurisprudence that if a person becomes a Muslim, they will not be held accountable for obligations regarding their period prior to their conversion. In relation to the ruling of Haqqun Nas, the right of the people, the Marji' said that some jurists believe that the rule of converting to Islam removes and erases what was before it, applies to and covers Haqqun Nas as well. But some jurists, including the late Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad al-Shirazi, believe that if someone was a non-Muslim and at that time stole something from someone, or if they owed Haqqun Nas and then became a Muslim, they are obliged to fulfill those duties. Let's watch the statements of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi.
نه حالا حضرت پیغمبر صلی الله علیه و آله از قاتل حمزه گذشتن، اما از قاتلی که کسای دیگر را در بدر و احد و حنین و خندق و اینا کشته بودن از اونا هم گذشتن. یعنی نه حکم شرعی نه. و کافر بوده که کشته و حالا مسلمون شده. الاسلام یجب قاعده شده که بگیم قصاص ازش نمیگیرن، اما پولم نمیگیرن، اون معلوم نیست. این محل خلافه. دو تا مسئله است. یه مسئله اینه قصاص نیست. اگر کسی در حال کفر کسی مسلمونی را کشت و بعد مسلمون شد، قصاصش نمی کنن، اما دیگه هم ازش نمیگیرن. این محل خلافه.
Several African cities witnessed large processions and major celebrations in commemoration of the birth of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. Major events and celebrations were held in a number of African countries to commemorate the blessed birth of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. Shia followers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam, women, men and children attended these celebrations in honor this divine occasion. Shia Waves agency monitored the celebrations organized by Shia loyalists in Niger, Nigeria, Ghana and a number of African countries who expressed their happiness on the birth of the Holy Prophet's beloved daughter. In the Nigerian city of Kano, Shia celebrants took part in a large procession of the loyalty in which hundreds of participants to honor this blessed occasion, and the woman chanted in support of her statues and teachings. In the Nigerian city of Abuja, as well as crowds of Fatimi women took part in a loyal procession during which they expressed their honor in adhering to Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. It should be mentioned that Shia Muslims in different countries of the world celebrated the blessed birth of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam for more than a week. The World Health Organization has warned that an estimated 7 million people, about a quarter of Yemen's population, grapple with psychological trauma and stress inflicted by the ongoing conflict. The organization said in a statement it published yesterday, that Monday, that mental health and psychological support services are lacking in many parts of the country owing shortage of trained professionals and treatment facilities. Of the estimated 7 million people who require mental health support, only 120,000 of this number have consistent access to services, the World Health Organization confirmed. The Health Organization explained that even where such events or services are available, people may feel unable to access them owing to social disapproval. World Health Organization concluded that Yemen's mental health crisis is a silent battle and demands urgent attention by prioritizing mental health care, combating stigma through greater awareness and building a robust support system. Yemen can help those struggling in those shadows to embrace life once more. With us today in the studio is Mehdi Noor Bakhsh, Professor of International Affairs and Business Research, analyst and activist from the US. Assalamu alaikum. Given this mind-boggling number of Yemenis suffering from psychological trauma amid shortages in trained professionals and facilities, are there any official plans to urgently help those people? Assalamu alaikum. I believe your voice cannot be heard. I believe there's some technical issues there. We apologize for the technical issues. We'll be coming to you shortly, inshallah. Let us remind our respective viewers of today's headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi remarks on duties after converting to Islam. Shia Muslims in Africa hold celebrations to honor blessed birth of Sayyidah Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam. World Health Organization addresses mental health crisis in war-torn Yemen. Also tonight, Muslims facing discrimination in India, says activists. The General Assembly of Shia Scholars in Newport, New South Wales, Australia, held a new meeting to discuss a number of topics on the Islamic and Shia spheres. In a statement published on its official website and viewed by Shia Waves agency, the General Assembly said that the meeting was attended by members of the Assembly and a number of experts and researchers in Shia religious affairs to discuss the most important issues on the Islamic and Shia spheres. The Assembly added among the topics discussed were the situation of Muslims in European countries and the United Kingdom and their needs on various levels. It explained that attendees also raised the most important topics that concern the followers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam at the level of education, health and the commemoration of the Hussein rituals, and to put further efforts to serve the Shia community. The Assembly emphasized that the importance of education and providing the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam with sciences and knowledge, especially those of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, based on the Holy Prophet's hadith, seeking knowledge is obligatory for every Muslim man and woman. And now we'll continue with some short news. The Shia followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam have announced their preparations to commemorate the painful martyrdom anniversary of Sayyid Muhammad ibn Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam, also known as Sab' al-Dujail, and to recall his great roles in the defense of the Imam. Millions of pilgrims will commemorate this painful anniversary on the last day of the current month of Jumad al-Akhir in Balad district of Salah ad-Din Governorate. The Secretary General of the Holy Shrine of Sayyid Muhammad ibn Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam has said that it will hold mourning ceremonies and receive mourners from Iraq and other countries. The people of Jammu and Kashmir want peaceful settlement of the Kashmir dispute by exercising their right to self-determination through a free and impartial pacifical held under the supervision of the United Nations. According to activists, the India's military and undemocratic action of 5th August of 2019 regarding Jammu and Kashmir was intended to make the UN resolutions on Jammu and Kashmir obsolete. They added that the demographic changes and weakening Kashmir's economy were designed to affect the results of the plebiscite whenever held in the future. They also stressed that the people of Kashmir are subjected to widespread killings, physical violence, illegal detentions, and deprived of all fundamental rights. Pakistan on Monday categorically rejected its designation as a country of particular concern, or the CPC, by the US State Department under the International Religious Freedom Act, stressing that it's a pluralistic country with a rich tradition of interfaith harmony. Reacting to the designation, the Pakistani Foreign Office issued a press release saying it was deeply dismayed that the categorization was based on biased and arbitrary assessment and was detached from ground realities. The statement adds with deep concern that India, the biggest and serial violator of religious freedom, has once again been excluded from the US State Department's designation list, despite public concerns raised by international human rights constituents about India's maltreatment of religious minorities. Haq, an ethics-first blockchain ecosystem based on Islamic values, has announced a strategic partnership with GoMeet, the first ever home delivery service powered by decentralized technologies. The two companies aim to streamline the availability of halal meat and food across the United States. This will include broadening the network of stores and halal restaurants on the Go Meat app, so the platform's users have easy access to diverse halal food options. The partnership brings a series of planned enhancements to the Go Meat platform. Leveraging Haq's expertise and advanced technologies, it will add the new feature and functionalities to make the Go Meat app more intuitive and responsive. The internationally agreed threshold to prevent the Earth from spiraling into a new superheated era will be passed for all practical purposes during 2024, the man known as the godfather of climate science has warned. James Hansen, the former NASA scientist credited with alerting the world to the dangers of climate change in the 1980s, said that global heating caused by the burning of fossil fuels, amplified by the naturally reoccurring El Niño climate effect, may push temperatures to as much as 1.7 degrees Celsius above the average experienced before industrialization. The heating of the world from greenhouse emissions is being reinforced by knock-on impacts, Hansen has said, such as the melting of the planet's ice, which is making the surface darker and therefore absorbing even more sunlight. In an interview with Turkish Anadolu news agency, President of Justice for All has pointed out that challenges Indian Muslims encounter in education and employment, emphasizing difficulties they may face in their daily lives. Muslims in India are facing discrimination and being denied their due to educational and economic rights, said Abdul Malik Mujahid, a social activist and president of Justice for All organization. He pointed out that despite achieving high grades in education, Muslims struggle to find employment and often end up in positions that do not even require education. Recalling a conversation with a Muslim youth who drives a rickshaw in the capital, New Delhi, Mujahid underlined the struggles faced by educated Muslims who are unable to secure jobs matching with their qualifications. Despite having master's degrees, many Muslims cannot find jobs, and so they are working like laborers. Mujahid cited as the reason Muslims overall are behind Hindus in jobs and in education, adding there is about a 10 to 15% gap between Muslims' education level and Hindus' education level. Mujahid also drew attention to the educational challenges faced by Muslim children in India, stressing there is a bias against Muslim children who manifests in many ways. Mujahid also pointed out that the fact in some states in India, Muslim girls wearing headscarves are prohibited from education. According to him, the educational curriculum is being changed to erase the Muslim heritage. Mujahid referred to a new curriculum that omits information about the Muslim architect of the Taj Mahal and textbooks containing derogatory statements about those who consume beef. Highlighting economic discrimination, Mujahid revealed that Muslims, constituting approximately about 15% of India's population, are disproportionately underrepresented in the workforce, with only 1% having government jobs. Afghanistan is grappling with a severe climate crisis marked by its third consecutive year of drought-like conditions, reported the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Aid on Monday. This follows the worst year-round drought in 30 years experienced during 2021 to 2022. Noted that rising temperatures are altering precipitation patterns, reducing access to water. Drought-related shocks increase in 15 of Afghanistan's 34 provinces, with significant rises in Parwan, Kunar, Baglan, Samglan and Baglan, while anticipated El Niño conditions in late 2023 and early 2024 may offer drought relief. They also pose risk of flooding and crop pests. The country continues to deal with the aftermath of 4 decades of conflict, entrenched poverty, and barriers to women's equality. The economic downturn following the political transition in August 2021 has worsened these issues. The reduction in hostilities has not elevated the high levels of displacement, mine contamination, and increased risk of gender-based violence, child labor, and mental health challenges. Climate change has led to widespread water crisis affecting food, health, and nutrition needs. Additionally, Afghanistan's position on numerous fault lines make it prone to earthquakes, with around 400 occurring in the past year, including 3 magnitude or 6.3 shocks in Herat province. The OCHA said that education remains a critical concern, with 1.4 million girls excluded from secondary school and overall low literacy rates. In 2024, an estimated 23.7 million people, over half of Afghanistan's population, will require humanitarian assistance. According to the statistics, the fragile Afghan economy, heavily reliant on aid and remittance, faces further challenges from the exclusion of women from economic activities and restrictive policies that hinder women's access to assistance and services. In commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the Genocide Convention, the London-based Notre Dame Law School Religious Liberty Initiative and Stop Uyghur Genocide hosted an event to honour the Uyghur people seeking accountability amidst the Uyghur genocide. The event featured a conversation with Tagir Hamid Izgil, a distinguished Uyghur poet and an author, around his life and memoir, which is one of the only first-hand accounts available of the ongoing genocide of the Uyghur people by the Chinese government. At this event, Izgil detailed how the community of Uyghur poets and intellectuals endured systematic repression and their experiences as refugees from the genocide. Established in 2020, the Notre Dame Law School Religious Liberty Initiative promotes and defends religious freedom for all people through advocacy, formation, and thought leadership. The initiative protects the freedom of individuals to hold religious beliefs as well as their right to exercise and express those beliefs and to live according to them. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our dear viewers of today's headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi remarks on duties after converting to Islam. Shia Muslims in Africa hold celebrations to honour blessed birth anniversary of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. World Health Organization addresses mental health crisis in war-torn Yemen. General Assembly of Shia Scholars in Australia discusses the various issues to better serve the Shia community. Muslims facing discrimination in India, says activists. Afghanistan faces severe climate crisis and ongoing economic and social challenges. A London event calls attention to ongoing Uyghur genocide. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves' website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Come join me on Imam Hussein TV 3 to find out who will be behind